Real Madrid to sign a French star that is not Mbappe. The latest on transfer deadline day, Juventus signed their Ronaldo replacement, plus a transfer window wrap brought to you by our friends at cryptocurrency trading platform Bybit. All coming up on today's OneFootball Daily News. As I'm your host Angelina Kelly, let's get into it. So, it looks like Real Madrid could be making a signing from Liga and in France. However, it will not be Kylian Mbappe. Of course, everyone has had their attention focused on a potential deal between PSG and Real Madrid for the player. But reportedly, Real Madrid have turned their attention to a different French star in 18-year-old Rennes player Eduardo Camavinga. The teenager, whose contract in France expires next season, has been on the radar of so many different clubs, not just Real Madrid, but PSG and Manchester United as well. But it seems like it will be Los Blancos that will get the player's signature, reportedly on a deal until 2026, and the fee is allegedly around 30 to 40 million euros. Camavinga burst onto the scene with Rennes back in 2019 and will be a great asset for Real Madrid because he already has 2 full seasons of first-team football under his belt. He's already actually made some appearances for the French national team, and it will be really exciting to see what he will bring to the table at Los Blancos. Now, of course, like I say, his contract was set to expire, and earlier this month, Rennes allegedly did say that they were happy to listen to offers for the player, as they of course did not want to lose him on a free. And like I say, a few clubs were interested, but it seemed like Real Madrid was always going to be the destination for Camavinga, as they have actually been long-term admirers of the player and were even linked with him last summer as well. Meanwhile, since we're talking about Real Madrid, of course you will all want your Mbappe update, and at the time of filming, it seems like Real Madrid could potentially walk away from a deal with PSG. Of course, they allegedly did put in a bid of around 180 million euros. PSG did not respond to it, so Real Madrid are happy to wait and sign the player next summer on a free. Of course, like I say, this is at the time of filming, maybe things could change, but at the moment it seems like Real Madrid are happy to sit back and wait. Mbappe has 10 months left on his contract. He can sign a pre-contract agreement with them in January. So yeah, at this moment in time, it seems like Real Madrid fans will be seeing Mbappe in a white shirt, but it will just be next summer instead. Next up, and in case you did not know, it is of course transfer deadline day, and although there already have been some amazing transfers, Lionel Messi to PSG, Ronaldo's return to Manchester United, Jack Grealish's move to Manchester City, Harry Kane that didn't actually end up moving to Manchester City, there still seems to be a couple more deals that could come over the line today. Of course, speaking of Manchester City, it seemed like at the weekend Bernardo Silva was almost bidding farewell to the team. He has been linked with moves to Barcelona, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, etc. Allegedly Barcelona are the front runners, but will they realistically be able to get the fee together to bring in a player like Silva? Well, one thing that seems to be for certain is that Barcelona will be bringing in about 15 million euros from the sale of teenage star Ilaix Moriba. Of course, I've mentioned him previously on the Daily News. He is allegedly with RB Leipzig currently completing his medical. He is set to sign a 5-year deal with the club. And of course, speaking of Barcelona, another player that seems to be heading out of the door is Emerson Royal. They only just got him at the club on the 2nd of June of this year, but it seems like they are negotiating a deal with Tottenham for the defender. And then there is Chelsea, and they look set to lose out on both Saúl and Joules Koundé. I've spoken about this on the Daily News before, but it seems like regarding Koundé, Sevilla are standing firm on the price tags that they want for the player. Chelsea are reportedly going to try and make one last attempt to get the player, but at the moment, at the time of filming, it's not looking too positive. And then with Saúl, of course, it looks like he was set to depart from Atletico Madrid, potentially to Chelsea on loan, but the La Liga champions have reportedly wanted to put in a clause that the club would have to buy the player for about £35 million potentially, which allegedly is something that Chelsea may not be interested in. And then on top of all of this, you have of course got Callum Hudson-Odoi. He has been linked with not only Borussia Dortmund but Leicester City, and it seems like time is ticking for Chelsea as they need to make a call as to whether they want to keep the player at the club. And next we're heading to Juventus, where it has been a pretty busy morning. So not only have they finally officially confirmed that Cristiano Ronaldo is departing from the club, in case you missed it, of course they have announced the return of Moise Kean. As I mentioned on yesterday's news, the Turin team were considering bringing in Kean as almost like a Ronaldo replacement, and they have brought him in on a 2-year loan deal with a potential obligation to buy if certain conditions are met. Now, I say Ronaldo replacement, of course, who can realistically replace Ronaldo, but at the end of the day, they are going to need to replace the amount of goals that he did provide. Of course, they already have Alvaro Morata, who did manage to score 20 goals for the club last season. They also have Paulo Dybala, and I think that bringing in Kean is a really good option, as of course he did impress with PSG on his loan spell last season, season and managed to bag 17 goals. So not only is this a good deal for Juventus regarding the amount of goals that you would expect Kean to probably score, but I think it's the right move for the 21-year-old player as well. Of course, Juventus were the club that gave him his first steps in professional football. He made the move to Everton 2 years ago. It didn't really go to plan. He only actually managed to score 4 goals in his time at the Merseyside club, and his final appearance with them, he was actually sent off against Huddersfield. Of course, like I say, he made that transfer to PSG where he did impress. There were a few rumours that he could potentially stay at the French team, but let's face it, when you look at the players that they've got going forward at the minute, he probably wouldn't have got much game time, and I really do hope that Juventus is the right fit for him, and it will be interesting to see how he does in helping Juventus try and get their Serie A title back, and also if this could mean a potential return to the Italian national team. And now we have our transfer window wrap, brought to you by our friends at cryptocurrency trading platform Bybit. And first up, it seems like although Juventus were reportedly interested in bringing Miralem Pjanic back to the club from Barcelona, it now seems that that deal may not happen. Meanwhile, over in the Premier League, Manchester United look set to sell Daniel James to Leeds United for a fee of around €28 million. Next, and in case you missed it, Marcel Sabitzer has of course officially made the move from RB Leipzig to Bayern Munich. And finally, Celtic's Odsonne Edouard looks set to make a move to the Premier League with Crystal Palace for a fee of around €19 million. So that's it for today's OneFootball Daily News. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you all later.